It's a miracle, baby. Yeah.
Miracle, miracle, serves. Miracle, miracle, serves. Miracle, miracle, serves. Miracle, miracle, serves.
We keep having all these problems. How we gonna solve them? Every day it's the same thing. All these unsolved issues. I guess it's official. Here we go again, the same old thing. And I'm tired of the arguing and lying. So goodbye.
Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is July the 11th, 2024, and today the topic is do not or don't be afraid. Yes, don't be afraid. Happy Thursday. Yes, happy Thursday, everybody. I hope you guys had a wonderful Wednesday. Mine was just fine. Yes, mine was good overall. Yesterday was a low-key day, and didn't have anything of significance to do outside of a coaching session with one of my clients. So outside of that, yeah, man, your girl was washing clothes and things of that nature. Hopefully some more work can get done around here and things like that. Cause yeah, man, we way past our, I guess, spring cleaning. We all know we're in the summertime now and stuff like that. So I definitely want to get, turn a new leaf and things like that. Because next month NJ will be starting school and all this good stuff. And so I want to just kind of get into some better habits and things of that nature. So hopefully, I will be making moves towards those things. And so yesterday, washing clothes was one of those things that I want to start doing. I guess I'm putting it out here to the public, so I guess I gotta start now. I put it on my calendar on Wednesdays to take that time to do it on Wednesdays. So we'll see. I mean, I still got to get NJ's scheduled and stuff like that, to know like what I gotta do and what I need to balance and stuff. But I got some tentative dates and stuff to tackle home tasks and things of that nature. So yeah, I guess I kind of kicked it off a little bit yesterday with taking time to wash clothes and things like that. But anywho, yeah, but that's pretty much what my day was full of yesterday. Just kind of, putting things in, putting in the dryer, folding things up, putting things away, all of that. And yeah, nothing else of significance. I mean, NJ was a pretty good helper with that. Hey, he was doing a little bit much yesterday too, y'all. Like, he was having some moments. I'm like, kid, like, but outside of that, I mean, he was a good helper while I was doing, certain tasks and stuff. So I guess you got to take the good with the bad, right? But anyway, let's get into this juice, y'all, because I got to go to work today. All right. So don't be afraid, man. Don't be afraid. So there's a few things that led me to this conversation this morning. One, I did come across a video that I think I shared on our Facebook page, but if I didn't, it was on Instagram, and it was pretty much this quote. This lady was saying that, and I've heard this before, that apparently the phrase "do not be afraid" or "don't be afraid" is in the Bible 365 times. I don't know, I haven't counted, or whatever the case may be, but if that is true, then that means one for every day. So I mean, that's something to think about. But yeah, so that kind of was on my heart and mind. But then I went back to the time that I woke up this morning, which was around 2:10, something like that. It was early, and one of those first verses that I read was talking about not to be afraid. And so I felt like that was confirmation this morning to go deeper about this. And so I started to do, my task of going deeper, plugging into both phrases, both do not be afraid as well as don't be afraid, into openbible.info. And I even went to the chatholybible.com app. And ultimately, I even visited gotquestions.org, which I know I have not shared that resource in a while, right? I ended up going to all three of the resources and ultimately, I guess, got the confirmation and inspiration to come on here and share about do not be afraid, or don't be afraid. But either way, so obviously I did take the time to look into the definition of fear, and this is what it says. It says an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or a threat. Um, so yeah, that's what fear is according to the dictionary, or according to, a quick research online, real quick, whatever the case may be. I did try to go deeper about looking into it biblically. An interesting thing about that is it was talking about the fear of the Lord. So I know that's a totally different topic all by itself. So I didn't necessarily write that down and whatnot. But what I'm gathering from the things I've studied today, as well as what I guess I've learned over the years and stuff like that, is that we should fear nothing or no one but God. That's what I'm getting from the Bible, and I know that can be a difficult thing to do, because again, we don't see God. Sometimes we can't hear God, things of that nature. But we do see the impending threat of others or things, or whatever the case may be. So for whatever reason, again, we focus more so on the things we're afraid of, or whatever's in front of us, versus knowing that God is with us and stuff like that. And so as I was thinking about these things this morning, I was thinking about writing down some of the verses, centered around, it reiterating to us, don't be afraid, I'm with you, those verses. But I ended up kind of like switching gears a little bit and wanted to kind of focus on, like, what are some verses that you can tell yourself to motivate yourself to understand that God is with you, things like that. And so I ended up writing a few of those verses down versus the latter. But by all means, you guys can go to openbible.info again, like I said, and plug in the phrases that I did, and read the verses that stand out to you. Read all of them, whatever you feel led to do. But yeah, that's the route that I felt led to go this morning. And so yeah, man, let's get into these verses. Hopefully encouraging and inspiring verses for if you are in this situation. What can you say to yourself, or what can we use to hopefully help us understand that God is with us? So these are the verses I felt led to write down this morning. Here we go. Psalm 27:1, it says of David, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? So again, this seems like a phrase that I could sit here and say, like, if I'm right in the midst of a situation, or whatever the case may be, if I'm facing, whatever type of fear I could be facing, I could sit here and tell, maybe pray this in my heart, or say this out loud to encourage and inspire myself in those moments. Who shall I fear? Because again, the Lord is my life. The Lord is my stronghold. Again, who shall I fear and whom shall I be afraid? At the end of the day, there is nothing or no one that we should fear other than God. Now, at the same time, I guess, I feel like the healthy fear of God is completely different from the definition of fear that I read to you guys earlier. But again, that's a totally different conversation. You guys can go deeper with that on your own. But if we just talk about that definition of fear, the fear that we know of, or the fear that I read earlier, again, can we challenge ourselves to stop being afraid of things and people, and put that over to the Lord? Like, can you transfer that fear that you have for things and people to God? That might be a challenge that all of us need to embark on, because that's what I'm understanding that the Bible is telling us to do. And I guess that should give us confidence and peace of mind and encouragement and all these different things for, again, our situation. So just something to think about. Let me give you guys another verse. Psalm 23:4, it says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. So again, you can be right in the midst of a situation, fearful situation, dangerous situation, whatever you may think it is. And we, again, don't have to fear. I believe now, I say this all the time, but here it is again, that, again, people come to Christ and think like, oh, there's going to be, no bad things. It's like, no. You're still going to go through the ups and downs of life, man. But the thing is, you're going to look at it completely different. You're going to walk through those shadows of death and not be afraid. You know what I mean? You're going to walk through those shadows of death and know that, hey, God is with me. He's leading me and guiding me. His rod and staff comforts me. Now, again, maybe those of us that aren't sheep herders and those of us that aren't farmers and things of that nature, maybe we don't fully understand, what that means. But my understanding is, you guys, can go deeper and, check with some actual sheep herders. But my understanding is, again, they had the rod and the staff to guide the sheep along. If they got off track or something like that, they would kind of guide them back, use that rod to guide them back to where they supposed to be. And so, because that you have that guide, right, to guide you back where you're supposed to be, that gives you comfort. That's what I'm receiving with that verse. And so, but again, you have to acknowledge God, walk with God, things of that nature to get that type of reassurance, right? Because again, if you're not walking in alignment with the Lord and things of that nature, then you going down your own, trodden path or whatever the case may be. And, and he's still there, but then you're out of the safety net, right? And so that's just something to think about. But anywho, 2 Timothy 1:7, this is the last verse that I felt led to write down in reference to this. And it says, "For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power and love and self-control." I think what stands out to me the most in this is the part that's saying, hey, he's given us a spirit not of fear. At the end of the day, so that to me means by default, the spirit of fear is from the enemy, and again, knowing that, right, then why do we entertain it at all? Like I keep seeing everybody posting and sharing, and they're afraid of this and they're afraid of that. And I'm just calling out to the believers that if you believe these words, if you're going to say you believe the Bible and things like that, why does it matter? It doesn't matter at all. At the end of the day, God is in control, and we don't got to be afraid of nothing or no one. Even if we're walking through the shadow of death, even if we are headed towards, whatever the case may be, like God is with us. You either believe that or you don't believe that. And if you don't believe that, then you're going to constantly walk in fear and be afraid of everything and anyone and all this stuff and worried about the issues of life. Or you're going to walk in, faith and again, have that crazy faith we were talking about yesterday and trust the Lord that, hey, at the end of the day, even if my life is taken right now, it's for the best. It's God's will being done. It's and understanding that, again, death is just me going from here to somewhere else. And I know that's difficult. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here trying to act like that's the easiest thing to accept or whatever. Because one, I haven't experienced it personally, right? And then two, I mean, when someone is taken from us or whatever the case may be, then, that can be difficult. We grieve, we miss the person, all that different type of stuff. So I'm not sitting here trying to act like, oh, just, whatever is transfer and that it should be the easiest thing to accept. But it should give you peace. It should give you encouragement to know that, okay, God is with me. At the end of the day, he's in control. I don't have to worry or fear anything, any man, anything. And, I think that's ultimately the juice this morning. Again, it's telling us to not be afraid. And so can we walk not in fear except for the Lord? Fear the Lord. If you got to fear something, just fear the Lord. And that's ultimately the juice. You guys can go deeper about everything I said. Feel free. Check out the Go Deeper section, plenty of verses to peruse and let marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. Even go to gotquestions.org. There's an article called "What is the Key to Not Being Afraid According to the Bible?" And like I said, just plug in those phrases to openbible.info, man. Plug in those phrases that I said, both do not be afraid and don't be afraid. And peruse them and let them marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. The Bible verse of today is 1 Corinthians 13:4. It says, "Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day. And I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. Did you know that you can support us for just 99 cents a month? That's right, friends. You can support everything that we do here at GSL for just 99 cents a month. Take a look around wherever this post is. You might see a link or maybe even a button that says support. Go there, check out the options, consider supporting us because,
We enjoy bringing you all the daily inspiration as well as the weekly talk show, but we have much, much more to come. Thank you so much for the consideration. Bye bye.